Hello, creative professional family of mine. We are chilling in the writing realm today. Welcome to the video. We are going to talk about some of the most essential things that your copy needs if you are writing copy, obviously, for a client. So these are things that any sort of copywriting project will need. As a quick review, just remember, in case it's been a minute, that copywriting is different from content writing. We spoke about content writing a couple weeks ago regarding SEO. Maybe you want to watch that if you haven't. Copywriting is writing that is designed to sell something. It's short-term focused, unlike content writing, which is long-term relationship building. So copy needs to be persuasive, empathetic, short and to the point. You don't want to say too much. You need to anticipate questions before they are asked, and you need to make sure you're speaking to the correct audience. So we're going to unpack these a little bit further. Persuasive. Persuasive. Copy has one job: to sell. A big part of sales is persuasion. People are always looking for a reason not to buy, and we are, with copywriting, persuading in the other direction. This isn't like winning an argument or a debate with numbers and facts, because buying something, facts and numbers are an important element of persuasion, but they aren't the only thing, because it's also emotional to buy something. So stats alone are cold and impersonal. They only become persuasive in the hands of a very empathetic copywriter like yourself. So, which brings us very quickly to the next point: empathy. Solid copy really must be empathetic. Good copy that's not douchey, or basically copy that's not douchey needs to be empathetic. And that's really copy with a soul, y'all. We don't want to be part of the douchebaggery of like selling things that people don't need. We want to be selling products that we believe in and that we can stand behind and that we can do empathetically, meaning we're going to get in the metaphorical shoes of the audience member or the client, and we need to understand where they're coming from. Meaning, as a copywriter, it's much more effective to write for an audience that's relatable to you. Well, of course, they're not going to be completely different from you, because they're human after all, but it's admittedly easier to get into the shoes of someone else who's not that different from you. In a way, if you are able to do that and relate to your audience and be close enough to your audience, then you're gonna find it much more easy to persuade them and be empathetic for an audience that you can relate to. Third, copy, good copy, is short and to the point. It's not about flowery language, it's not about metaphor or lengthy descriptions. Say what you need to say, communicate without the fluff. Adding fluff and extraneous information can make your audience feel like you're trying to hide something, right? You want to say it straight, don't mess around with too much description and extra nonsense. Fourth, solid copy anticipates questions and answers them before they are asked. This goes hand in hand with empathy, right? Because being able to anticipate questions and alleviate fears from your audience means that you're understanding where they're coming from. With any sale, a savvy buyer is going to have a certain amount of questions, right? They need answers to these questions before they make the purchase. So good copy acknowledges these questions and answers them before they are asked. And finally, good copy, solid copy, is speaking to the right audience. We've been referencing the audience a lot in this video. That's because it's vital to persuasive copy, y'all. Seriously. It's understanding your audience is really your first step in creating any copy, which means maybe actually I should have said this first at the top of the video, now that I'm thinking about it. But whenever I'm working on a new project or new anything with a new client, I always begin with product research and understanding the audience. I'll create an audience avatar, client avatar, you might have heard it called. I'll envision their lives, try to understand what pain they feel and the problems they face on the daily. Getting into the right mindset first before you do any of the other stuff will really help the rest of that copy flow much easier. Because again, you can be more empathetic and you can be more persuasive in the right ways if you understand who your audience is. I hope these tips are gonna help you guys ace your next copy project. And if you're looking to get into copywriting for the first time, then here's one of my favorite exercises: watching ads. Yes, instead of being annoyed when your next show on Hulu is interrupted, see if you can deconstruct the copy in the ad and test yourself by trying to identify the audience they're speaking to, detecting empathy in the copy, see if you can start to notice it. Maybe you notice that it's not great copy. Not all copy out there is great, meaning you can do this too, seriously. So ask yourself why if you notice it's bad copy. What is missing? Is it not very empathetic? Does it speak to too broad of an audience? Start to notice those things. I find that learning and noticing copy in what I call in the wild, it helps you hone your craft when you're sitting down to work. You have all of this research that you've been doing on the daily basis, right? So beware though that you don't just become a critic and then you stop creating yourself, right? So if you're gonna do your research, then it is in order for you to become a better writer yourself and not just to become a cranky old critic, okay? All right, thanks for tuning in this week to the Business of Storytelling, y'all. I'm Caroline Cole. Follow me on Instagram at Caroline Cole Stories and on Twitter at @CColeStories. Stories. And don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe, all the things. See you next week. Bye.